Hello, everyone, and welcome to Expansion Network. This is episode number 75 of the Ask Julius Show, and it's going to be an incredible show. I can feel it already ahead of time that it's going to be an incredible show. And we have, obviously, as every single week, Kasey with us. Hi, Kasey, how are you?
Fantastic. Sending so much love and greetings to everybody out there. You always make our life and our world and our week so radiant. It's always such a blessing to be here with everybody.
Absolutely. And today you are a little bit early, but I think that you all would recognize that the early bird eats the worm, right? That's the saying. So that's why we are here. So thank you so much for everybody that is also showing up early. And we have a lot of questions from previous weeks as well. So we are more than happy to be able to respond to those questions. And let me explain, what do we do here? Why is it so relevant that we are on episode number 75? Well, because we have, Kasey that channels Julius and its group of entities. And this incredible group of entities is able to every single Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or a little bit early, they are able to answer all those questions of everything we never dared to ask, all those doubts, all those, I would say, question marks that we have in our lives, or we have about the universe and things that are happening around us. And Julius is always there to respond us. And actually, by the way, since very early on in the show, as you see, there's a QR code at the top left corner of the screen, because we have a very special design for you set of sessions that we're going to be talking about a little bit later in the show. As you know, always meet, when we make it through the 30-minute mark, more or less, of the show, we talk about what's going to be the special for this week. Okay, so everything is ready for today. As you know, we are broadcasting live to the world. We know that we have audience in South America, in Latin America, in Europe, literally everywhere, and we are broadcasting at the same time from the wonderful states of Georgia and Texas, the lands of the free. All right, so let's go for it, Kasey and Julius, and let's start with the first question. I'm going to make myself small. By the way, we already have our wonderful audience saying, "Hey, Kasey, Stacy Savage, the one and only Angel, Kasey, Angel, Sue, Julius, and friends. Grateful to be here. The pleasure is ours. Thank you so much for allowing us to be serving you today yet again." All right. Okay, so let's start with some of the questions that were left from previous shows. Okay, so here I go. I'm going to make myself small. So the main character was the other way around. All right, here we go. All right. So here we go. The first question comes from Vedad Fakar, and it's one of those questions that you guys either make during the show or send through email to support@channelingjulius.com, support@channelingjulius.com. Any way to confirm that we have found true love while waking up? Was conflicted between a strong connection when woken up. Meeting a twin flame is astrological right? Or is there a perfect zodiac? That's an interesting question.
Well, Master, here's the truth. There's only one of us here. There's only one of us here. That's the ultimate truth. Getting into the perspective of singular and separate will limit your experience. Okay. There are no singular souls. There isn't a soulmate or a twin flame out there for you. There are souls that are fractals of one singular energy aspect. While you are embodied as a physical being, you live under the delusional aspect of believing yourself as separate and singular from another. You are also deeply programmed with the delusion of singular relationships that are more important than others. We do not support any of those truths. You have interactions with souls in order to expand yourself in the knowing that you are source. That's what all relationships are for. You do that through all different types of relationships. Some are very conflicting. Some are seemingly extremely painful. Some are extremely joyous. Some are extremely calming, some are extremely safe and secure, and some are severely frightening and traumatizing. And there's a whole gamut of those types of relationships out there that your soul interacts to know itself as source through the expansion of those experiences. That's the ultimate truth, okay? Because so many people who have reduced themselves into the program of separate and singular buy into the theory that there is a soulmate or a twin flame out there. We will tell you, we truly believe you're limiting your experiences. You will make of your relationships what you choose to make of your relationship. If you are asking us whether or not you should be with somebody, we will never tell you that, because that's a judgment. If you are asking us if you are in love, then the answer is no, because you would never have to ask somebody that question if you were in love. Okay. So we don't support that there are particular relationships that are meant to be. All relationships lead to the knowing that you are source. Your energy frequency matches another's energy frequency. You will come together for both of you to know yourselves as source in different versions. That's what you are doing, and that is the highest truth.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Let's go for the online questions. We already have our audience here. Thank you so much for making it so early. It's not even 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Thursday, and we already have a ton of lovely friends, lovable friends here with us. So thank you all for being here. Okay, let's ask this question that comes from Summer. Thank you. Nice to see you again, Summer. How close is it safe to live by a cell phone tower? Also, the 200-foot cell phone tower is being built 0.2 miles away, less than a quarter mile from the elementary school. Is that safe for the children?
No, it's not. None of it's safe. That's why they're putting it out. They don't do it for safety reasons. They do it to control you and manipulate you. That's the truth. So that's a harsh reality, but it is the truth. It is the truth. Okay. You don't even need cell phone towers. What if we told you that? Everything can run on satellites. Everything can run on satellites, and they won't be near you and they won't harm you. You are living still in archaic, controllable, manipulative, harmful times. That is a truth, master. And that's what we will tell you about that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And now we have a question from Stacy Savage. And that's her question. Julius, lately I have been very heart focused to heal and center myself more in a state of being love and sending out compassion to all. I love it. That's my comment. Then just yesterday, I was targeted and my purse and wallet were stolen. Oh my God. I'm so sorry to hear that. Why does it seem like the universe tests us? That's a great question.
Well, master, you're the universe, so you must be testing yourself. That's what we will tell you. You need to change your perspective, okay? Everything has to do with energy. Just because you are working on living from that state of frequency does not mean that you sustain that 100% of the time. You don't. You dip, you vary, you ricochet. That's what you do. And it's okay. It's okay, right? So when that happens to you in that moment, you were down. Your energy frequency was down. That is the truth. What we can tell you is this: we are so very grateful you were not harmed in any way, nor did you inflict harm on another. Focus on that, please. Please focus on that. Stay grateful, stay aware of your energy frequency, Things can be replaced, Master. Do not judge the occurrence. Stay focused in abundance, stay focused in the now, and stay centered amidst distraction, because the environmental conditions around you are thrusting storms of distraction upon you. Blessings to you, our dear friend.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Julius. Let's go for the next question from We Are All in This Together. Are there still low frequencies pumped out to cause dark thoughts or voice in their head? And is there anything we can do besides staying high frequency?
Master, when you say besides stay in high frequency, you make it sound like it's impervious, like it's not important. It's the thing for you to do. It would be like, well, I'm really thirsty. Is there anything else I could drink besides water? We're like, drink water, right? Like that's the thing to be drinking, okay? You make it sound like it's not important, like it's a secondary article, like there's anything else above being in high frequency. There's not. High frequency is your answer, but it is a focus that most people just don't do. They are so distracted. It is staying in the now and staying in high frequency. And it is a discipline that takes so much energy that you would finally give it the attention and the gratitude that high frequency deserves in the power that sits behind it. There is nothing more important than high frequency, Masters. That's what we will tell you. But know that harm is still being cast upon you, and do every other measure that you could possibly think of to help keep your energy frequency safe. But your own frequency, which is your level of consciousness, is your protection and your sustainability.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Let's go for an offline question now from Marzina. If trauma causes soul to leave the body somewhat, and it stays this way, how do we reintegrate more of our souls? That's a great question. I love it.
It takes a lot of inner work and a lot of inner reflective awareness, Master, a lot. And you are in quite a conundrum, because when your soul is detached, you're not aware of yourself. And so you'll refuse the action of alignment and self-awareness. We're going to give you an example. Narcissists are grotesquely out of alignment. Their soul is barely hanging on. And yet they have zero self-awareness, so they'll never do their inner work. They won't resolve the issue. They'll reincarnate and try again. That's mostly what happens. It takes a lot of inner work, seated in the now, seeking joy and growing your conscious expansiveness to get that soul repositioned. And the problem is that people who have undergone trauma don't want to look at it ever again. They run from it and they hide from it, and they'll never be able to stabilize themselves in the center of the now if they do not actualize the empowered aspect of themselves in the situation. So that's why they don't do it. How do they do it? You have to do your inner work. But trauma causes people to be in cognitive dissonance, so they do not believe that they need inner work. And let us just say right now, with love, with love. Everyone needs inner work. If you don't think you do, you're programmed. That's the truth.
Excellent.
Everybody needs inner work, so get on it.
Excuse me. Thank you so much. And by the way, I have to actually acknowledge the presence of Oshun with us. We had not seen her for a while. She's one of our most beloved members of our family here at Expansion Network and at Channeling Julius. Thank you so much. Great to see you here. What a blessing to have you again today here live. All right, so let's go now for a question from Go Time, which is, does Julius have any opinions on gluten?
Well, Master, you aren't ingesting gluten, you're ingesting chemicals. They're calling it gluten, and that's what's poisoning you. But that's not the organic growth of gluten. Everything has been GMO modified. So they're lying to you. It's not gluten. It's all the pesticides, it's all the GMO, it's all the artificial alterations that your bodies cannot digest and cannot process. Like literally, it's the preservatives. That's what it is. Okay. You never, ever, ever used to hear of anybody having gluten intolerance 50, 60 years ago. Didn't exist. Didn't exist. And everybody was eating white bread, white rice, white pasta, white stuff. Didn't even exist. It started when the GMO factorization started, the pesticide spraying started, and the mass amount of preservatives that are in your food. Your foods literally are plastic at this point. That's what they're calling gluten at this point.
Thank you so much. By the way, I have to stop again and make another acknowledgement, which comes from Layra Moore. She was connected with us a long time ago. It's so funny that we were just, sending greetings to Europe, and she's in Spain. It's been a long time later. It's my pleasure, un placer, to have you here again. It's I'm having goosebumps as I'm saying it. Thank you so much, Layra, for being here. Our pleasure. All right, so let's go back to our list of questions. The next question actually comes from Charity Thornton. Julius, New Orleans is a very mystical place. Why did they create the Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans?
So they're always doing everything to do a couple of different things. They started flooding the tunnels underneath a lot of different areas to basically cover their tracks. So a lot of the hurricanes, a lot of the tsunamis are flooding the tunnels for child trafficking. It's a huge component for satanic child trafficking, the tunnels underneath New Orleans. So that's a huge component of it. Also, basically to clean it out, they want to get rid of a lot of the different people. It's also a great targeted place for experimentation of weather destruction and weather manipulation. You guys are basically all lab rats. That's the truth from the cabal and the nefarious actions, but it mostly had to do with flooding the tunnels.
All right, thank you so much for the answer. And now let's go for a question coming from the one and only Robin Azima. And she's asking, Australia seems to be constantly being bombarded by weather manipulation, chemtrails. It's so true. Let me make a parenthesis here, because absolutely, we have known for the last 4 years. Oh my God. I mean, it's one of the countries that have been heavily more and more targeted. So that's why we love so much people from Australia, from people that are, and we have plenty of friends in our family, by the way, from Australia. So thank you for bringing this up. And now I continue with the question. Just wanted to make that mention, because we really commend them for being here and for being definitely sources of divine light over there. All right. So manipulation and chemtrails. Is there a reason for this, or is this the same in every country?
Well, every country has got a lot of the same issues going on, Master. It's all about poisoning you and controlling you. That's the truth. It's pretty much all that it's about. That's pretty much it. And it is saddening. It is a tragedy. Unfortunately, there's very little that the average person can be doing about it. That is a truth. That is a truth. We are sending out our intention and encouraging everybody to send out the intentions to make the changes that is necessary. And Sometimes it takes an uprising to change things. Sometimes it takes sheer awareness to change things. We live by a particular phrase or a particular point of view, which is if you don't say no, you say yes. And that seems to be a lot of what's going on the Earthship at this point.
Absolutely. I couldn't. That's why it's so important, to use this, to continuously use "I do not consent," because it looks like implicitly you are consenting to so many things. It's so true. It's so true. So thank you for bringing this up, Julius. Really appreciate it. All right. So actually, there is a question from later. Let's go. Let me see. Okay, there's another question before by someone else. Okay, so we also have to say hello and welcome back, Beth Morgan. Beth Morgan, many years ago, I had contact with a group from another planet called Gamrus, Gamrus, Gamrus. They have been on my mind a lot recently. Are they about to make contact with me again?
Could be, Master. Why don't you make the contact? Why don't you? They're going to they contact every communication, every interaction happens through vibration. Thought and emotion are your vibration. They are your vibration output. Your broadest vibrational scope is when you are in the now. So place yourself into the now energy, into joy, into high frequency, and then your thought of communicating with them has a much broader projection scope to it than when you are living in previous or next. We assure you that they can hear your communication. So why don't you make the first move?
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And this is a long question from actually Lady from Spain. I'm going to read it. It's a very interesting question, very, very thoughtful question. So, and I think that nobody has asked it before. And in full transparency, I'm going to read it all. Okay. So here we go. Julius, my question is about your mission. You have been answering countless and sometimes repetitive questions for several years. So I noticed that we often only want to resolve curiosities of ego, but we don't assume any truth that changes our life. What is the objective that your group seeks with this contact? What answer do you expect from us? That's a great question.
We don't seek answers from you, Masters. We don't need anything from you. We know that we are source. You have asked for help to know yourselves out of the pain and the suffering of your chosen ignorant state and separating yourselves from knowing yourselves as the all. We don't have an objective. We don't. We exist in a high level of consciousness of joy and extraordinary. And because you, as a collective consciousness, are in massive pain and suffering, and you have been calling out for eons, masters come to communicate with you, to assist you in the knowing that you are source. Because you are us, Master, there is only one of us here. So every form of interaction is an extension and expansion of knowing source energy. That is all souls are doing. We just happen to be aware of what that is.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go and thank you, lady, for the question. I really love the question. All right, let me see who's next in our wonderful list of questions. Definitely, it's the one and only Mama Wales. Great to have you here, Mama Wales. Previously, excuse me. Previously, I heard Julius speak about right angles and dimensions, and how if you change your angle, you can change dimensions. Can you go into more detail about this?
Well, Master, you can step into a dimension anytime that you choose. It's just that you have a veiled aspect in your knowing as to the fact that you can. And basically, your location finders have been dimmed. That is the truth. Geometrical shapes, sacred geometrical shapes, have a tendency to have precision mathematical configurations to them. And We're going to go as far as telling you that many of them are designed that way to prevent you from doing your interdimensional travelings. You're going to be overwhelmed with the information that has been provided for you that has kept you controlled and contained and programmed. We will tell you this. Dimensions are nebulous. They're nebulous space. They are not rigid. Don't try to enter them on a rigid application. They flow. They're fluid. That's the way you enter. Stay away from rigid configurations. Stay away from calculated configurations, because dimensions are not fixed, nor are entry or exit ports on them.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, Larry is saying, thank you, Julius, Kasey, and Angel. You're all amazing. Thank you. We're just, as I always like to say, we're just a reflection of yours. So, agreed, exactly. All right, so let's keep on going. I have another offline question. So we're catching up on those. Give me a second. Yeah, I think we have answered those questions. We have so many questions that have been accumulated. There's a question from Hilda B. What is Julius' definition of a synthetic physical hologram? And does a plastic bottle fall into that category?
Yeah, anything that's made in a laboratory, we would consider synthetic, rather than, an organic substance. Like you can look up, the scientific definition of molecular structures of synthetics versus organics, Master. We would tell you that. Synthesized human beings, we know that's what you're speaking of. Well, just go ahead and say it. You're allowed to say it. You're allowed to say it. Okay. Synthesized human beings are lab grown. They're lab grown, just like many, 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 many other things are. The cloning application is a form of synthesism. So it is not an organic cloning aspect. There is a percentage of synthesized material in a clone.
Excellent. Thank you so much. All right, so let's go to the next question here. Okay, it comes from Priscilla Alderete, okay? And that's an offline question as well. Thank you, Priscilla. Pleased to know that you are in touch with our team. Vaccine, I have heard multiple people mention 0 point. What is it and how can we get there? Yay, right now.
Yeah, it's also known as the void or 0.0 aspect, Master. It is the essence of where thought is launched. Thought is launched. So you source energy. If we were to describe to you in a word what source is, it's all thought. It is all thought, for everything comes from a thought. Consciousness living around you is the pool of thought or source energy all around you. When you are embodied, your brain does not create thought. It processes the thought that's already around you. 0.0 aspect is the launching of thought. Moment of now, 0.0 aspect, or the void.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Let's go to the next question. By the way, the Prince of Light, Princesa de Luz, is here as well. All right, or Príncipe in this case, Prince in Spanish. All right, let me go back to find another wonderful question from someone in the audience. Just 1 second. Okay, Christine Keelan. She's saying, I understand that we are all holograms and is everything. Then why does chemical toxins and our thoughts damage our physical? Where did the thought start that a hologram can be altered or damaged? An agreement or a low vibration? Ignorant acceptance? Thank you. That's a great question too.
Because you are source, Master, and what you accept shall become real for you. That is a massive truth, and it explains everything. Everything is real as long as you accept that it is, because you are source and you are the creator of your reality. because you have reduced yourself away from knowing yourself as source, and you have grappled on to the illusion that you are a humanoid, physical, embodied being, you will accept that that is true. You will accept every invasional aspect of the physical body being poisoned and harmed and killed. You will accept that you have to be fed nutrients in order to keep the physical body operating. It's what you have accepted, Master. And the low aspect consciousness totally accepts that truth. 97% of the humanoid sentient population on the Earthship are only in conscious levels 1 and 2. They basically have no idea and no capacity at this point to know themselves as source, and they are subject to all of the suggestion around them. And unfortunately, fully accept the limitation and the pain and suffering included in that illusion.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And now it's that time in the show. We're well past the 30 minutes. The equator of our show, I'm going to show today, as you know, you see a wonderful QR code on the upper left corner of the screen, which is related to the package that we are promoting this week. And I'm going to do something I didn't do the other day, which is show the big, massive QR code on the screen. All right. And I'm also going to share the screen. And here it is. Look at that. So beautiful. Again, I always give kudos to our team, our production team with these designs. But it's impossible for this picture to leave you like normal. I mean, you have, this ignites your feelings. This really, so I really love it. Congratulations to our team that keeps on using, their design efforts and creativity, which is definitely endless, as we all are. All right, so here we are, designed for you, your energy upgrade package designed by Julius just for you. Does that mean like one-on-one, like it's a unique custom-made package by Julius?
Yeah, here, Angel, this is amazing, because basically this year, as most everybody who's following us now on the show, we know that there was a huge change for me in my personal life, as well as the life of Julius, at the beginning of the year this year. And it started off with massive, catastrophic things in my life. And through that has been a complete rebuilding of me, a complete rebuilding of my ability to channel and facilitate Julius. And hopefully all of you have been happy with the way that has gone, and that I continue to strive to provide that for everyone. And We've launched a lot of new applications. The Vault applications just launched the new DNA application on the John Burgos Show last night. For anybody who missed that, please go to the BTO show hosted by John Burgos and see my interview, Julius's interview with him yesterday for that application. But I've had many suggestions on, or many people have asked Angel how I did it. How did I raise my frequency in this massive catastrophe that took place in my life? How did I do it? And I've told people that Julius led me through it. They helped me to know how to raise my frequency and keep my frequency up, how to keep my physical body well and not collapse into illness and even disease from the heartbreak that I had gone through. And many people wanted to know that. People have been kind of clamoring at me for my secrets, okay, that Julius provides for me, so that I can be the energy conduit to be able to handle Julius's energy. So we decided to offer that from Julius for you, if you're interested, because what I do is for me, it's mine. It's from Julius. It's not to be shared for anybody because it's for me. But what if you had the opportunity to have Julius do that for you? So our team, we sat down, we talked for a long time. And decided to figure out what this would look like and what it would take from all of you, should you decide to make a commitment to try to finally get a true up leveling and a new calibration to your energy. But make no mistake, this is about changing many things in your life, changing many of your disciplines, changing a lot of things. This does not replace your efforts on your conscious journey. It doesn't. I still have to do my conscious journey every day, just like the rest of you do. But we've had many, many, many people say, oh my God, what would it be like if Julius worked with me to show me how I can raise my energy frequency? And I say, yeah, it's pretty cool, when they do. So voila, here it is. So if you are interested, scan that QR code, take a look. If you have any questions, of course you will, please send them in to Sue, our production team, at support@channelingjulius.com. She's ready and waiting, as always, to answer you and support you in any way that she can for your consideration for this process.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I mean, I just lost the count of how many sessions are included in that package, but I counted probably 10, over 20 sessions, I think it is, between energy sessions, the intake, and then the weekly sessions. Definitely incredible package. Feel free to scan the QR code to know all the details and how this is going to help you. And let's go back to the questions from the audience, because we definitely have a lot of questions from the audience. Just 1 second, and let's go back to the normal screen format. All right, and Mama Wells, I don't know if it's Mama Wells, thank you so much. The pleasure is ours. It's always so lovely to share this space with all of you. And Angel Wings Amanda is also in the house, and we can tell she's in the house. Good morning, everyone. Late, but here, Amanda, it's never late. It's never late. And look who we have here with us today. Amazing. Unbelievable. Rodney Van Doren. Look at that, Rodney. So great to see you here on the chat. Love, love, love to you and to your beautiful spouse and family. All right, so let's go straight to his question. Why not? Rodney, again, is as you can imagine from my excitement, is one of the very, very, very close members of our family. So thank you so much for being here. Kasey, Trish, speaking of, right? Trish and I have been following you and Julius for a long time. Thank you for being there to answer questions, to assist all of us in understanding what is going on around us. Exactly. Can you please give us some guidance on how and what we can do to keep ourselves aligned on our individual paths towards achieving enlightenment?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Master, it is a path of awareness. It's a path of awareness, okay? Awareness of what? Of you, your state of being, your constant check-in for your own self as to how you're thinking and how you are projecting your thoughts and emotions outward. To guard yourself and to discipline yourself away from judgment of all thought is the pathway to enlightenment. But you must be willing to take a very deep dive look at your own way that you perceive your own self and make disciplined and dedicated choices and shiftings out of those practices. It is not easy. It is not easy because humans look at themselves last. And it is a dedication to this practice. And it is working towards those changes. Okay. It no longer serves you to say, oh, I'm sorry, I did it again. Oops, I did it again. Oops, I did it again. We're like, that's just manipulation. You're not changing. Okay. It's changing, Master. It's changing, but it is a dedication because you will fall into old programmed thoughts that move you away from looking at your own self unless you are choosing to look at yourself at all times. And it's a focused and an awareness state. Most people won't do it. Most people won't. They just literally don't think they have the time to do it, which is kind of funny because there is no time and there's nothing else to do. But that is the journey. We suggest that you look at it with joy. We suggest that you look at it with enthusiasm. We suggest that you perceive it to be easy and then jump on board. And it is the most amazing thing that you can do for yourself as the all.
Thank you so much, Julius, and thank you so much, Rodney. Of course, thank you, thank you again. Greetings to you. Best regards to Trish as well. All right, so let's go. By the way, Elizabeth is also Wolf is in the house. Hi, Julius. Absolutely great to have you here. And let's go for the Princess of Light question, Princesa de Luz. Julius, are the darkness days near? Will it be only an electric and digital blockade? Will it have an effect on our consciousness?
We think what she's referring to is there's been long discussion that they were going to shut everything down, all the internet and electricity and things like that for about a 10-day period. We do not see them doing that. We really don't see them doing that. Too many things would be affected if that were to take place. And quite frankly, way too much physical harm could take place. We believe that there is already conversion taking place. Small aspects and portions of systems go down, they get rebooted up onto new systems. Microsoft did it, was about 6 months ago. And so those are more than likely what you're going to see. We do understand that there's still a lot of dialogue of that taking place. We personally have the insight as to what the full narrative is. And in this moment of now, it does not appear that that will take place.
Wonderful. Thank you for the question, Princesa de Luz. And let's go for another question from We Are All in This Together. Thank you for another question. Should we no longer observe and focus on the dark truths to wake up and instead only focus on the timelines we want to create?
Well, Master, the truths are expansive. They're expansive, and they help break programs. So they help break programs. They're useful to the ignorant mind, and that is a truth. So it is a deprogramming process that they're actually trying to initiate. As you grow your consciousness, you will dissolve your programming and you won't have to look at anything as a chosen truth. And you will move into the aspect of knowing that all is true, because truth is the way something feels. And you can't make thought up. So everything that is spoken of or everything that is spoken of or suggested is somewhere, somehow. And by disclosing broader truths, variable truths, it assists humanity into understanding that there's far more than just the truth that they have accepted. So it's a deprogramming process. Simultaneously, while that is taking place, you should be growing your consciousness, your expansiveness of light. And you can do that by not judging the truths that are coming out. That's the process. So it's not that you want to avoid disclosure of broader truths or variable truths. You just don't want to be judging that which is being disclosed, and then you are holding a space of light and high frequency during the process.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Let's go for another question from Summer. It's a follow-up question from the one she asked before. Thank you kindly for answering my question. Follow-up. How are they controlling us with cell phone towers exactly? What are they doing, and who are the people trying to control us?
The elites, the cabal, the Illuminati, the reptilians, whatever you want to call them. And it's the frequency that they're emitting. It's very damaging to the brain, but it also activates chips that have been implanted in the brain, the metal particles that are in your brain, the aluminum that's in your brain. So they're mostly activating through frequency the inability for your brain to grow. And they're actually causing erosion in the brain, and also activating cancer in the brain from all of the graphene oxide and the aluminum that's in your body through frequency activation.
Wonderful. Fair enough. Let's go to another comment from Stacy. We are so grateful for your journey, Kasey. You're truly the best channeler and teacher out there. Julius' teachings have been the most transformative in my life. I am forever grateful. Thank you so much for sharing your experience and your testimonial. It's really, really appreciated. By the way, someone else who is in the house today is Sonny Dean. Sonny, we have not seen you in a while. Great to have you here. We love you back. Absolutely happy to be happy to with you live. Okay, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right. Okay, so let's go now to an offline question from Hilda B. What are the geometries and architectural designs that support the health of our bodies and our conscious journey? That's a great question, too.
Well, Master, you are source. You are source. And you create and you utilize every component of thought for your conscious journey once you decide to do that. Isn't that awesome? What resonates with you? What aligns with you? What inspires you? What do you think is beautiful? What do you think feels balanced? What are you drawn to? What are you not in alignment with? You can make all of those decisions. Isn't that awesome? What is in alignment for this physical body may not be in alignment for your physical body. That is the vastness and the variation of the eternal aspect of thought possibility, which is source. Feel your truth, Master. Feel your truth. And also remember this, you are not your body. Radiate with your high consciousness frequency, and you will transmute any need for anything that is going to be the determination as the resiliency to the health of your costume that you wear.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And now we go with Elizabeth Wolf. Another question from her. I'm not familiar with this concept, this word, but I'm gonna ask the question anyway. Hi, Julius. How? I think it's thought. Thoth. God to be so powerful, and what and how can we use some of His wisdom and knowledge to empower ourselves? Thank you.
Yeah, Thoth is just an ascended masters. We don't mean that to diminish. Just like any other being that is ascended master, growing in consciousness through experience. That's what we will tell you. It's just a costume, Master. Just remember that. That's just a costume of a source essence utilizing to demonstrate and experience thought through physical. Don't get caught up in the name. Don't get caught up in the costume. But it is an ascended master, and he and his kind walked on the Earthship a lot. They walk on the interior of the Earthship a lot. They come and go just like most sentient beings do.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And then let's continue, because we have actually, by the way, we have another testimonial here. Oshun says, I had an energy upgrade. It made a world of difference to me. Quite incredible. I can imagine how far and deeply this package can help us. Absolutely. Absolutely. I second that 100%. All right, let's go to another question from Nikki Giannini. Thank you. Thank you. Very glad to have you here, Nikki. Hi, Julius. My mother is having memory issues, Alzheimer's, I guess. Anything you suggest to help her? Thank you so much.
Yeah, she has metal in her brain. She has aluminum and graphene oxide in her brain. That is the truth. That is the truth. So heavy metal detoxification and parasite detoxification could help her. But also this, Master, she's deeply afraid, and her soul has also chosen that state, usually out of guilt of something, things that they do not want to remember. They usually have an innate fear of death, imminent death, and they're afraid to reflect upon perhaps what they have done or how they've acted in their life, and they can definitively be afraid as to what is coming next. So talk to her. Help to relieve her fears. Tell her she is source. Tell her all is well. Tell her she's going to move into her next thought. And let's keep that thought expansive and joyous. Help her emotional state to not be in so much fear. those are the things that we can all do for each other, no matter what the state of the brain.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And Sony has a question. Sony has a question. By the way, before the question, Sony's question, he's actually making a comment about
Oh,
this.
if we may say something else, it's all show sugar. So it's all show sugar on the brain for Alzheimer's. And what's interesting is when people start to fade into Alzheimer's, they crave sugar. It's the same thing with autism. Okay, autism, of course, is activated by the vaccines, and it's activated by the metals in the vaccines in the brain, but it's also sugar that is destroying the brain. And yet it's the autism and the Alzheimer's and the dementia that tends to make people want to lean into craving sugar. Do not succumb to that craving, masters. That's what we will tell you.
Excellent. Thank you very much for this, for the compliment. And then actually, Sony, he hasn't been around for a while. He's asking about the purpose of the satanic show at the opening of the Olympics in Paris.
Everything's satanic worship, master. All the ceremonies are satanic. Have you not realized that by now? You need to. Okay? They are all satanic rituals, and they always have been. It's just now they're getting so blatantly obvious. It's amazing that anybody could deny it at this point. What can you do? Stop watching. Stop supporting these satanic, ritualistic games, ceremonies, programs, concerts, television shows, politics, sports. Why would you support that? Your energy feeds that, but it's all satanic rituals. Time to wake up and stretch your minds and create a shift.
Excellent. And that was the last question of our show today. We've really gone a long way today. Lots of questions, lots of new questions, and lots of new members of our family and extended family. Thank you all of you for being here. And by the way, Sonny is saying game over. Exactly. Game over is an expression that is widely used in, let's say, in the alternative thinkers community. Let's put it this way. And finally, also, well, Kasey already mentioned the show, but Sony was actually watching the show in which Kasey was invited yesterday. Great show on the BTO Summit yesterday. Thank you, Kasey. You are a powerhouse of light, grace, and power. Absolutely. All right, so this is the end of the show. Kasey, thank you so much. Again, another incredible show, incredible audience with us all the time. We're so grateful that you are here. Thank you for joining us again. We really love you so much. And again, do not stop. I'm going to actually show again this incredible package QR code because you definitely have to know the details. Scan it. Go to this video. Take your camera out of your pocket of your cell phone and scan this QR code, and you will have all the details. Amazing package, as many members of the family have already mentioned. All right. So again, thank you so much. Kasey, Julius, any final thoughts for the 75th Ask Julius show?
No, I get a little overwhelmed by all the kind words. Thank you all so much.
Absolutely.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
We do get overwhelmed by your kindness. That's something I definitely subscribe to as well. And okay, so see you next week with the 76th. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sure that you have enjoyed these conversations, these questions, these answers as much as we have. Thank you for being us. We love you. Bye-bye.